and I'm kind of challenging myself to going live every day and working out what's a good time for me and my family, and what's a good time to say hello to all of you on there. And so it's about 7 a.m. in the morning here, and I've done, so this is my third day, and the first day I had quite a lot of people on here, and it was like really an interesting kind of chat going on, and people were asking me questions, so that was really fun. The second day I did it later in the day, which I think is more nighttime for most people in the world. So there wasn't as many people, but there were a few people on there saying hello, which was really fun and nice. And so I thought I would just share a bit about me and why I started this channel. So I have two little boys, and I haven't been seeing as many clients as I used to while being with them. So my background is in kinesiology and coaching and working one-on-one with people to help them improve their lives, whatever that looks like. And so I've taken a bit of a break with my having two little boys. I have a 2.5-year-old and I have a 11-month-old. And so I just felt really called to make my next step YouTube. I think it allows people to find their tribe easier and to search the specific type of people that they're looking to connect with. And so I started this channel in, I think, December of last year. And so I've just kept going with it as much as possible, trying different things and just making sure I was consistent, but not necessarily do pre-recorded videos. I took a time where I was just doing little shorts just to keep being consistent. My belief is to continue to be consistent in your life, and that's why I'm giving myself this challenge of doing one every day. Oh, there's some people jumping on. Good morning. And so yeah, if you have any questions about my channel, or yeah, I read your comments, and I'm not going to comment back on things that I don't think are appropriate. But yeah, and just, I think lives are really amazing. I didn't realize that everyone can see them. I thought it was more like Instagram, where you just jump on and it's kind of like your people can see you. But so this has been a really interesting experience, and so yeah, it's the third day doing it. And yes, darling, I'll try and get through as much as I can, because I do have my two little boys playing in the background, and they are content for the moment. So yeah, I'm really in the industry of helping people. I used to be I used to work in a clinic, and I was their kinesiologist there, and so I worked with a lot of people. We worked in working with a lot of people with disabilities and the older population, whereas since then I work a lot more I have a lot more female clients, and working with them within their relationships. I've had a few high achieving clients who need support with maintaining their marriage as well as their life. So my claim to fame is that I gave birth to both of my kids at home very quickly. My first one was accidentally born at home. So I'm sharing a lot of that with parents and mothers, because I think our society tells you that pregnancy and motherhood should be really hard, and it is not. So that's the direction I'm going in as well. And sharing, hi Katie, oh thank you, my work is cool, so I'm just kind of going back to work and not work per se, like I don't need to work, I just, when something calls me or there's someone that I specifically want to work with, I will do. And yeah, so my priority are like definitely my kids and my husband, and making sure that they're happy and healthy. And then from there, I've been, oh, thank you. Yeah, I've been creating a lot of programs and courses that I'd like to put out. Just, they say you've got to write them as you're doing them and then offer them to the world, because I have had epic success in areas of life that a lot of people really struggle with. So I met and I married and I multiplied with my husband in less than 3 years. And now we are building our, what we call our empire with our money. So we do investing, and we do fun jobs here and there. It's funny, a lot of people jumped off when I said I was married, which is good. I'm here to help people and not to find a sugar daddy or whatever. Yeah, so we do a lot of investing because we believe like the financial situation in the world, a lot of people don't know what they're doing, and here in Australia it's going to be really hard for people to retire, which is really sad. And so we're also finding with a lot of people in our generation, they can't buy homes. And I don't know if that is in other countries, please let me know. But a lot of, our generation and younger cannot afford to buy homes. And that's really, a sad thing, because I talked to my grandfather, who has now passed away. He passed away at the age of 92, but he was telling me, like I asked him the question, when you bought your first home, like how long would it take you in a normal job to, it's difficult to do that in Spain as well. Interesting. It might be a worldwide phenomenon. But he said to me that it only took him a year on an average income to save up and buy a house. And so that's just crazy. And so I do a lot of research and a lot of like experimentation in investing and stuff to be able to, buy into the market and do real estate. And I don't think necessarily everyone needs to do real estate. Like, I think investing is a lot more liquidable. So it's really good to have assets where if you need money, you can. I definitely think people need to focus on their career and growth of salary, which a lot of people aren't doing. So the middle class who can't actually necessarily afford can't actually afford to keep the average lifestyle, and there's becoming a huge gap, I've been reading, between the lower class and the higher class. And absolutely investing in people. Do you mean like your family, or investing in like friends? What do you mean about investing in people specifically. Yeah, I definitely think yeah, I definitely think about investing in other people. I do believe that your priority should really be on you and your inner world. So like for me, I don't keep a huge circle of friends just because I want to keep a lot of the focus and attention on my family and where we're going and growing. The people that I invest in my time, so I invest my time with clients and helping people to upgrade their lives, because while I think there's a lot of people in this space, I think yes, I'm with you, Pavan, about you need to grab opportunities and job and business with fearlessly. That's me too. So yeah, I definitely believe that, you know, investing in your knowledge first in order to share and improve your job and business. My only disclaimer is that because I think it's a little bit different as being a woman, so I chose to have kids and I want to give them the best opportunities so that they can learn and grow and have the best life possible. That my husband does work and he is doing the job, so I work on the investing side, because what comes in for me I do in a fun way, and I want that to grow to the maximum possible, and helping I don't even know what any of that comment meant, but that's okay. So yeah, I think is like, I have worked with men before. I had a client, a male client, who actually couldn't look a woman in the eyes, which was a very interesting experience. He went on to find the love of his life, and just helping a man build. That's really exciting that you're going to be retired at 42. Do you have a family? I do know for a man also it can be, if you don't have continue with a purpose after you retire. I've seen a lot of men decline in their health because they didn't have a focus. So Pavan, do you have like a focus of what you'll do when you retire? I do know for a man that it's very important to work hard, but, you know, keep himself in good shape and health and all of those sort of things. I don't know the conversion of Indian rupees, so I'm not quite sure if how much that is in my, so I'm Australian dollars. And if you are from India, I've been to India. It was a whole new world, very different to Australia. So I went over to India to study Indian medicine, Ayurveda. If anyone knows of Ayurveda, I studied with Indian doctors. So I also have a really... Yes, darling. I have a really big background in health and consulting in people's health as well. And so for me, this is really about... Really? You're all better? You want to play with Band-Aids? Because your hand is fine. Yeah. We'll go find some Band-Aids after, darling. So, yeah, where else was I? So I studied kinesiology, which means the study of human movement, but the way we did it here in Australia, yes, it's good to be single as a man while you're working towards your goals. I think that's really important. I don't think people should get into relationships if a man is not financially able to take care of a woman in case she has kids or they plan to have kids. I think a woman should be able to choose whether to work or not, because that's the best outcome for children, and they are our legacies and our carrying on our genetics. So I'm not opposed to a man being single, working hard. And so I'm a kinesiologist, and so that the method that we did is we studied 300 different balances from all around the world to help people's bodies come back into alignment and to create success through that. And so if anyone else has any questions, I'm happy to answer those throughout this as well. And yeah, so we have been investing in stocks and crypto. People make it very complicated, and I don't believe it needs to be that complicated. And I plan to teach our kids as well, because I think that'll really help them have a great start in life. I was raised by a single mom, and she didn't know a lot about money. Thank you. And yeah, so I believe if she had have known more things, and while she was working, she did put a little bit of investment in away, and that could compound for her. And so that's what I want to share with the world and with my kids, is like really working out how to be successful in every aspect of their life. Yep. You have a question? Since I know many people want to invest small money, like 100K, what do you recommend to invest in? What interests you when investing? So I always recommend starting with a tiny bit of money. So that might be like $10 or $100 before you go necessarily putting 100K in, because you really want to understand the market that you're getting into. And I believe a lot of people lose money because they blindly follow someone else. So I've had people say to me, oh, I just want to give the money to someone and for them to manage it. No, don't do that. You need to know at least the basics of investing. So some people love the idea of stocks. Some people think it's the devil. Some people love where crypto is going, and other people think it's really scary. So I started with stock investing in my country because I knew people who were doing it, so I could ask questions, and that's where I started. And I only put a little bit in. So here in Australia, in the stocks that we were doing, you need to put in $500. So which would be, it's a little bit different to euro, but it's not too far off. So starting with that amount, but you can, that was just for an individual stock. That's how our system works. And so the good thing is, if you start thinking about investing, people around you start talking about investing too. Other people don't realize you're interested in it as well. Finding a book that was written about investing in your country would be really helpful too. It'll have slightly different language to my country, but the highest recommendation is, if you've never invested before, you have no idea what you're doing, do something called an EFT. ETF. I'm a little bit dyslexic. But what it is a collection of lots of different stocks. So it usually always performs 10% a year. So it's a lot less risky. So I've been doing this for about 4 years now, so I'm more risk tolerant. So you need to know what you're willing to risk. And although I've never lost money, I still started out really slowly. So if someone went and invested 100K right out the bat and you don't know what you and you don't know who you're investing with, I think you'd be safer 100K with investing in property. But like we said, that might not be possible in Spain. And yes, 100K is a good amount to start with though, but you just really want to be careful what you're investing in. I do crypto. I've been doing crypto for quite a long time too, and then I had the ability, minimum 5K investment in Spain. Like you have to have a down payment of 500K. That's a lot. And Australia has probably 150. And that's why I do investing, because if it can do a 10% return, you're much quicker and much more likely to be able to generate income. So with my crypto journey, I was given the opportunity. Yeah, Dylan. I was given the opportunity to study the current market situation, and there are a few key times in the crypto market where you can actually 10 times your money. So I'm going to be sharing my journey with that, but I honestly would not do anything you don't understand. So I would pick the one that feels the least scary, the one, and that you're okay with losing that specific amount of money. They always say, like Warren Buffett, who does stocks, he recommends really in-depthly knowing about 6 different stocks. But he said if you're not willing to do the research, you need to invest, like in America, it's the S&P 500. In Australia, we've got a few different ETFs that we've got an Australian one, and so we do a little bit of that, and we do individual stocks. We use what is called blue chips, which are long-term high performers that really aren't going anywhere. So I don't know what your companies in Spain will be. You can also do international investing. So if you wanted to do investing in like American companies that are more well known, like Apple and Netflix and all of that. But we found that currently exchange in Australia, it wasn't going to make us very good money once we paid for the exchange of the money. So yeah, I would so because I'm not in America, I read a lot of books that were written by Australians about the stock market, about crypto, about real estate, because it can be different from country to country. And so our plan is to take the money that we grow from our crypto and from our investing, and then put it in creating a real estate empire, because like you've got to have your home, you don't want to lose your home, and you want to make sure that you if you ever do lose anything, that you're not, you know, losing your home and losing all your money. So, but different markets go up. So sometimes when the real estate market is up, then stocks are down. And so that's a good time to buy stocks. So my belief is like, you want to have a bit of money in the bank, you want to have a bit of money in crypto, you want to have a bit of money in stocks, and when you're ready, jump into real estate. But real estate also only really has a 10% return, unless, you know, you go and sell, you make money, it increases and you sell it, and so you might make $100,000, which you can then put into. But one of the book recommendations here in Australia said you, before you go and do that. And so also, because we're in such a financial market with how my grandfather, who I was, markets, which I was sharing, my grandfather who died, he actually had all these properties, and he bought them for like $60,000 or $80,000 Australian. So that's probably even less than euro. And he went on to sell them, you know, we sold them in the last days of his lives, and they were all worth millions of dollars. But he sat on them for like 50 years. So real estate is really more of a long-term plan. And so that's what we're doing too, also working out what area to buy in. There's like a lot of, you know, you need to do your research. People, and watching the real estate market, because there's a lot of like, I'll get you a book, darling. A lot of like huge drops in the market, and then people have to you know, sell, and they lose a lot of money because of these market cycles that happen. So really like following that. So my biggest thing is like, invest in the knowledge so you know what you're doing, so when the opportunity happens you can jump on it. I also know like we're thinking of doing Airbnb, and there are some issues with buying a house and doing Airbnb. Is there can be market saturation in your area. Also, if you don't have bookings for a month and you need to pay the repayments on it, and also the introduction of Airbnbs means there's housing, and so people are buying their holiday. And so in a lot of areas there's nowhere to rent, and so actually buying a house in order for someone else to rent is very secure at the moment, because there's such a housing real estate shortage in our country. Also not sure in other countries, but just understanding all of this. And you know, sometimes it's more important for people to invest in other aspects of their life. Like, you've got to have a pretty switched on brain to comprehend it all. But if you're not taking care of your health and investing in your health, then, you know, there's really no point in looking at your financial gain. So what I'd like to teach people is how to, you know, have all of the parts of your life working together, so that it's all growing and all getting better, not just like one aspect. Because my husband and I have had quite a lot of conversations with people also about they're focusing on trying to get all of the parts all at once, you know, trying to get the perfect career, trying to have the perfect relationship, trying to do their finances, trying to get their health. And it's actually really overwhelming to the mind. So I'm creating a program, and I'm helping clients actually break it down and working out, like starting with the first 3 things that you really need for you in your life, and making sure those are really strong foundations, strong pillars in your life. And so for me, I know my health is very strong, my marriage is very strong, my motherhood is very strong, my children are very happy and healthy. Even when they have little upsets and that sort of stuff, they're really happy kids. And I get comments on all the time how well they look like they're doing and happy, and so I know that's strong for me. And also I've got a very good financial foundation as well. Being a woman, I have my husband's income, I also have clients, I also have investments, so I know that that foundation for me is really strong. But for a lot of people, they're really struggling just with having at least 3 foundations. And so if you do look at your life and you realize you don't actually have 3 foundations, rather than seeing that as a failure or as an issue, I'm just gonna pick up my little one. Yes, books, darling. Rather than seeing that as a failure and an issue, focus on knowing, just finding one, just going, you know what, my health is in good order, or my family situation is really good, or I have freedom. Can I put those in order? Which one do I feel like is the strongest? They don't really need to be in order. I just think if I can share an example of a client, it would be that she doesn't feel like she has the 3 pillars together, but what she does is she has freedom. She has freedom to do whatever she likes with her time. So that's her first foundation. So rather than feeling like she's failed, she just goes, yeah, he's beautiful. I've got 2 of them. Hello. So I'm encouraging her just to focus that, wow, she gets freedom. She has time freedom. She is not tied down to a house. She can do whatever she likes, and that is her first pillar. So if she can focus on that and not think that the rest of her life is a mess, she can build from there. I would say health. Health is probably your first foundation, because yeah, like I said, if you can't think really well and you don't feel very well, it's going to be very hard to build wealth and to build a family. And Rizzi, I'm not sure if that's how you say it. How are you feeling in your life? Do you feel like you have your foundations? I'm sorry, I don't know if you're a man or a woman. I just know you from Spain. Do you have 100K to invest? Because a lot of people don't have 100K. Like, that's pretty profound. Also, 100K is like the hardest, they say, to achieve. You're a man. Okay. Yeah, so, and you have 100K? Because if you do, like, that's a huge thing. So that would be your finances, would be like a tick for you. Socks. Doing some socks. Yeah, that's pretty, like, a lot of men, I would believe, would want 100,000K. I'm just assuming because you use that number. And so, yeah, if you've got your health in line and you working out how to grow that, I'm not sure if you want a family or not, but relationship for a man may come a little bit later, until you feel like you can protect and provide a woman, and also finding the right woman. Very, very important. A lot of men lose a lot of money because they don't they don't pick the right woman. They say that like the man is the head, so like your face, your head, and the woman is the neck. So she helps guide a man into the right direction and where to look. And so you want someone who can really help you do that as a man. And so that's what I'm going to teach my boys, is like, this isn't just your partner in life, this is your like partner in business, this is your partner in health, it's your partner in everything. So be careful who you choose. And and for women, like, you need to become that woman, you know. That's like, who wants to go through divorce and you know, mess up your children from trauma? And I'm just helping my son put his shoes on. There you go, got him on, happy to go. But yes, so I'm going to go back to my children. If anyone has any other questions before I get off, I'm happy to answer them. But yeah, I just wanted to come on, say hello to people who were joining me and sharing about my mission in life. And I just don't feel like enough of us are seeking success and wanting to follow that through. And I think everyone should want success in their life and put success in everything they do. So yeah, that's me. I don't see any extra questions. That's my little one in the background. You got it, it's okay. So yeah, if there's no more questions, I'll jump off. Thank you for joining me, and follow along if you want to. Okay, bye.